In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know why I did that, because it's fun, that's why. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Amazing Fantasy Football, our Week 7 Sunday kickoff stream. I'm Chris, your host. Last minute change, unfortunately. I think I'll be flying solo. Well, not unfortunately, It's good to have some time off, and it's good to have some shows by myself. So yeah, we're gonna fly without Josh today. Although at the last second when he brought up what was going on, I thought for sure he was kidding. Anyway, we had some fun plans for him to eat something incredibly spicy, so my little description may not make sense when it says that I got the snip and he got the chip. But we'll just get that bad joke out of the way right now for Josh's sake. So again, I'll be flying solo. But we've got plenty to talk about. Again, more last minute changes. I just threw my notes together, but generally speaking, it's just a bunch of injuries. It's really what we got today. Otherwise, I will try and ramble on about fantasy football, and you guys will love it. So let's start at the top here. As I said, oh, well, got the thumbnail already. Kind of boring thumbnail, my apologies, but at least I got one up this time. That's the difference, one of the differences about Twitch versus YouTube and whatnot. And hey, that reminds me, if anybody jumps in chat here in a bit, we've got some, we've got some show ideas to talk about, but we don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, as it were. Let's see here, let's see if I can pull up my own stream here and test the chat. Hello, Clarice. No, I'm just kidding. All right, just any second now, it's gonna pop up. It's been like getting close to 20 seconds now. Oh, there it is. No, it wasn't 20 seconds. More like 7 to 12. So again, I am Chris. Please feel free to type your questions, be they lineup or injury related, and I will do the best to guide you. Shout out to Moose. Hey, what is up, ZC? Shout out to Moose. Sorry about that advice of not starting Dearness Johnson over Gibson. Although Gibson is going to play, that is in my notes. But yeah, I kind of dropped the ball because Dearness Johnson went off. And he scored a touchdown in like the first round. And I was like, great. How's your morning going, ZC? I've got my purple coffee mug here. I'm pretty proud of my dad joke there. If you read it in the description, it says, I got the snip, he got the chip. Yep. Folk gonna be a no-show? Folk? Yeah. Which one? Nick Folk? I don't know. But yeah, let's talk some injuries here. Let's see what I've got in my notes, and then I'll kind of give us a double check through a couple of notifications / websites. All right. Devontae Parker is an uphill battle to play with his hamstring issue. As I mentioned a moment ago, looks like Antonio Gibson for the Washington football team is going to go. New York Giants, here's a slew of pass catchers here. Slayton, I believe Darius Slayton, John Ross, those receivers, and Ingram, the tight end, all expected to play. So Shepard will not be completely alone. Having said that, I think Galladay may be out. I don't have that here. I'll look at that. We could check that right now. Kenny. Oh, come on, you know who I'm looking for. Players out. Oh, here we go. 16 hours ago. Okay, this is an important one to read off here. Players out Sunday include Antonio Brown. I did know that. Levante David, linebacker. Gronkowski, Richard Sherman, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay is out. Kadarius Toney for those same Giants is out. Christian McCaffrey still out. Terrence Marshall, Latavius Murray, Sammy Watkins, Curtis Samuel, Taylor Lewan, Jimmy Graham, Trey Lance, and T.Y. Hilton. I did have that in my notes. So that's a good one. Tweet from Adam Schefter 16 hours ago to knock out a bunch of them there again. All these players are out. Antonio Brown, Levante David, Rob Gronkowski, Richard Sherman, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, Christian McCaffrey, Terrace Marshall, Latavius Murray, Sammy Watkins, Curtis Samuel, Taylor Lewan, Jimmy Graham, Trey Lance, and our beloved T.Y. Hilton is out. Check in with Chad here. Kicker. Oh, Nick Folk. You're in kicker trouble. Speak of which, I should probably check my lineups here in a second. I got luck with Johnson, pickup from Cleveland. Oh, yeah, you sure did. Yes, you did. I'll be the first to admit I've been pretty busy this year with 4 leagues, and some of my waivers have suffered. Having said that, some of them also have, like, sometimes it's who you don't pick up. I'll put it that way. I did get Tyson Williams early on for the Ravens. That didn't work out. Onward and upward. Let's get off that tweet there. Touched on those guys. Darren Waller was added to the injury report Saturday with an ankle issue, and he said himself he doesn't, quote, feel great. He's not expected to know until pregame warm-ups. So that's Waller for the Raiders. When is that game? I wanted to check that. Didn't have my NFL schedule pulled up. It's a regular 3 o'clock game. Well, Central Time, that is. It says 3:05 for me. That's Central Standard Time, so you can do the math from there. It's an afternoon game. Eagles at Raiders. That's a big one. So again, Waller added to the injury report late on a Saturday. Doesn't feel great. Not expected to know until pregame warm. It's a true game time decision, it sounds like to me. Allen Robinson will play. Ankle. I don't know what's going on with him, man. Like, I'm not even so much how much they can continue to blame health. I guess quarterback hasn't been great, so there's that. But it always seems like there's something going on with him. So that's Allen Robinson, receiver for the Bears. He will play on his ankle issue. Here's a list of players expected to play. We've touched on one of them already. So Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are both expected to play. We touched on Gibson. He is expected to play on that same team, Washington team. Terry McLaurin is expected to play. Dallas Goedert expected to play. Chase Edmonds. For some reason, they included Danny Amendola. Maybe somebody's relying on him this week. Sony Michel, the backup running back for the Rams, is expected to play. DeAndre Swift is expected to play. Damian Williams, running back for the Bears, is off the COVID list. We might want to keep an eye on how that backfield turns out. I'm probably starting Khalil Herbert, but I probably also don't have a whole lot else to choose from. So again, let me know in chat if you got any lineup questions. Quentin Nelson, guard for the Colts, is expected to play. That's good news. I think Josh said they had also gotten their right tackle back. Braden something. He's more up to date on that than I am. Jimmy G. So Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to play. I assume he's starting then. Taysom Hill was ruled out. Speaking of quarterbacks, I guess. Whatever he is. Deontay Harris, speaking of another gadget player for the Saints. He's kind of a special teamer, but a lot of folks are relying on him in PPR. Niners activated. Jermichael Hasty, that's worth mentioning. T.Y. Hilton, I think we already touched on him. He's out. Dawson Knox, who broke his hand and now has gotten his results back, says about 3 weeks for Knox broken hand. They're on a bye this week, the Buffalo Bills. Jerry Jeudy might play next week. Vic Fangio, the head coach, says he believes Jerry Jeudy will play next week, being week 8. Back to chat. Yep, here we go. A little bit on Jeudy from Denver. Jeudy from Denver coming back next week. So hopefully, yeah. Especially if Teddy Bridgewater can kind of continue to keep those fantasy assets afloat, if you will. That's been good to see. All right, let's give the old go make sure I'm seeing the latest tweets here. The latest tweets instead. I thought that's where I was. And then we will go check this CBS ticker, if you will. The thing about this one is it'll include defensive players too, which is fine to mention every once in a while. Here's one. Xavier Howard, Dolphins, their best cornerback it looks like he's on track to play. And again, that's Dolphins and Falcons, so that directly affects Ridley, I would assume. Lower your expectations maybe there a little bit. We already touched on, I think I mentioned Dak was feeling good, didn't I? Yeah, he's isn't expected to take part in the Cowboys' light practice session on Monday. Yeah, Mondays are like walkthroughs. They're not like literal practices, but he is expected to be out there Wednesday. So he seems fine with his little calf strain. I say little. Listen to me being an optimistic Cowboys fan. I started off a little rocky at the beginning of the season, and at one point had like 4 injuries. Yeah, dude, it's this week in particular. As if the buys weren't bad enough, a lot of teams are dealing with injuries, significant injuries to significant positions like the running back position, and then on top of that, the teams that are on bye this week are good teams. Good offenses, if you will, good fantasy pieces. So we're dealing with that. My voice sounds rough AF. I didn't get to do my vocal exercise before. I'm just kidding. I don't do one. I probably should. Oh. Here we go. Here's something from an hour ago about the football team. Football team's Taylor Heineke should remain starter through bye week, which is next week? Week 9. There it is. Week 9 bye. Heineke is expected to remain Washington's starting quarterback for at least the next 2 games, with Ryan Fitzpatrick hip likely to stay on injured reserve through the football team's Week 9 bye. After that, are all bets off? Okay, well, that's good to know in super flex leagues. And Heineke was looking good there for a minute, and then, man, he really came absolutely crashing back down to earth. More on the Giants receivers we already covered. And Gibson. Let's get some context on Gibson here. Expected to play. Shin, we knew that. Schefter relays that the running back spent the early part of the season playing with a hairline fracture in his shin. An injury. Ben Standing of The Athletic reports that Gibson previously described as a stress fracture. Regardless, Gibson has displayed improvement of late and is feeling better as Week 7 action approaches. Okay, that's good. While Schefter notes that Gibson continues to deal with bone bruise in his shin area. Okay. It's a good stance on it, I guess. Put folks like me at ease that have him in at least one league. And COVID, right? Says ZC. Yeah. COVID has been thorn in the side of some players too. Nothing like last year, though. You know, I say be thankful. It could be worse. All right, so we have a Monday matchup again. Kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Let me get that pulled up here. Tomorrow, it's the Saints at Seahawks. So what comes to mind for me immediately is a awful quarterback duel of Jameis Winston versus, like, talk about failed draft picks. I mean, I don't know. I think Jameis has something in him, but that offense, the way it's running, literally running, as fantasy-wise, has really dwarfed what we can get out of the other pieces besides Kamara. I mean, Kamara is really all you want there. So, yeah, it's Jameis Winston versus Geno Smith, right? Geno Smith, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Johnson at Cleveland, especially with their players starting to come. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's I remember folks being jealous of, like, the Patriots seem to always have a lot of depth, and I don't mean to be a homer, but the Cowboys seem to have quite a bit of depth on the O-line, and the backup running back is good, and the receiving core is, you know, even though they're not getting as many looks, I think they're widely regarded as one of the best receiving duos, if not 3 receivers or 4 deep. Yeah, Cleveland's running backs, man. You know, and I think you have to mention that it does have quite a bit to do with their the capabilities of their offensive line. So, you know, if you're picking mid to late first, and you're not going to get one of those highly sought after quarterbacks or receivers or cornerbacks or one of these high profile, sexy positions, take a good O lineman. Even if you have 2 starting tackles, take another tackle. Even if you have what you believe to be a good interior. Injuries and just, man, it's such an important position. And it's so valuable. You can get it so much cheaper. Well, I mean, left tackle is expensive, but other than that, guards are dirt cheap, my opinion, comparatively. Anyway, yeah, it will be interesting to see what they do with those backs when they get back. Back to Saints Seahawks. So again, not excited about this quarterback duel. Who's playing running back for them? Let's look at that. Bear with me. I've got a place I'd like to go to get some stats and some talking points on the running back position of, okay, half point PPR. Seattle here. Don't mean to skip over New Orleans, but again, Kamara. I mean, I guess Callaway if you have nowhere else to turn. Sure, but I don't trust the tight ends, and I'm the one who was a Troutman fan coming into the year. Anyway. So Carson is on IR, we know that. Alex Collins, they almost have the same fantasy points. Wow. Okay, well, what do we have on Alex Collins? We did not give an update on him. He is, I take that back. He might have been in my expected to play quick segment. Seattle Seahawks, Alex Collins, groin was listed as questionable for week 7, is expected to play. A Monday night matchup. Hey, talking about the Monday night game, of course. According to the head coach Pete Carroll, Collins returned to practice on Saturday after missing practice on Thursday and Friday and looked good. The 27-year-old functions as Seattle's primary early, so that'll probably happen again. I don't think. How quickly can Rashad Penny, he's still on IR? Rashad Penny, Seattle Seahawks running back, calf is his issue. Won't have any limitations in Monday's game against New Orleans. I'm ready to go, said Penny. I'm revved up. The 25-year-old was designated to return from injured reserve on Friday. I still see it on this particular website, Fantasy Data. Still see an IR designation on him, but let me continue to read. He has been sidelined since week 1 with a calf injury, yada, yada, yada. See, I picked him up free, so I'm thinking he's the one you turn to. With Carson on IR, I know he'll be back, but I think Penny's got fresh legs. I think Penny's the superior talent. Hello, did I just lose my headset? How is that possible? Oh, that was weird. Oh, nope. Hello? Yeah, I think I just lost it. That's weird. It shouldn't be dead. Let me check it with a YouTube video here. Pardon me. Have my own YouTube video. How about that? Yeah, it just turned off. What the hell? I was using it. It should be charged. I just unplugged it. Anyway, that was odd. Okay, here we're back, and I have my manual one here. So, from what I've seen with Folk, is he's been questionable list almost from beginning, but has only missed 1 kick so far. So I'm good for today. Again, Nick Folk, right? Is the kicker's name, not to be or is that the quarterback? No, that's the quarterback. No, that is the kicker. There he is right there. 1 hour ago. Personally, I'm sweating Nick Folk's week 7 injury status. Here are some other good kicker options for today. All right. Shout out to Denny Carter. Handful of days. Oh, updated on October 21st still. So this may not be good information. And it's a long article that I'm not going to read. That's deep dive on kickers there. Yeah, let's try Twitter. Oh, that's where I got that. He can become the 35th kicker to kick 300 plus field goals this week with a single field goal. This is from the 19th. Any concern? Somebody's asking about his injury there. Yeah, in that regard, I guess I should check my my kickers. No, my lineups really. Let's see what I can finish up here with the Monday matchup. So that was the running backs for Seattle. Again, I don't think anybody wants to rely on Geno, the quarterback. We went over the Saints already. Really, Kamara's all you want to look at there. Seahawks are doing. I don't think they're a very good defense this year. Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I mean, they've got up the third most rushing yards in the league. Yeah, so I think Kamara will have a fine day. Give him, I mean, he's probably an RB1 considering everything else that's going on, like easily. So give him 4+ stars, 4.25 stars for Kamara. Now we're looking at Seahawks side of the ball. Running back's kind of hard to figure out. I assume it's going to be Collins today because it has been Collins, but apparently the brakes are off. The training wheels are off. Rashad Penny. And again, I think he's the better player. I think they should lean on him while Carson's out, if not indefinitely. But hey, that's just me. Like I said, I picked him up for free in a couple of leagues. And we're looking at the Saints defense, which we know is pretty darn good, especially versus the run. If I recall, yeah, they're second best and giving up only 395 yards. Give me a second here. I'm going to open up a Yahoo League and check a lineup while I get some scoring for that. For players such as Kamara. From him quick. Again, Seattle, 4th most fantasy points to the running back position. Awful against the run. Kamara, yeah, let's go 4.5 stars actually instead of 4.25. He should have a nice day. Now the opposite side of the ball. The thing is about those backs for Seattle is, see, he's still on IR there. Is New Orleans is good versus the run, as I said. 8th best in fantasy points given up. And 2nd best in rushing yards given up. So really go elsewhere when you can. But I'm sure there's somebody out there having to throw Collins in their lineup. And they got good news today that he's fine to go. And I guess he's going to be the guy. Don't feel super confident, but I think you have to make Collins a flexible guy with 2.75 stars because of my trepidation. On to the pass catchers, such as, what's up with Lockett? I feel like there's something going on with him. Nope, no injury designation. He just hadn't played well, maybe? Yeah, single-digit games for 4 weeks in a row. This is a half-point PPR, by the way. And then your DK Metcalf. Now, again, I don't like... Ooh, what is this? Is this coffee on my hand? On my keyboard? I'm going to plug this real quick. I wonder if y'all could hear that. Forgive me, chat. I'll get you pulled right back up here in a second. Just wanted to get through this matchup. Did Josh Tyler? Has Sean abandoned his lineup? Uh-oh. Does he need a wake me up call? I need to check mine real quick, but I'll get to that in just a second. No, I'm not sure. Haven't heard from him lately in that chat, but then again, we've all been quite busy, so I wouldn't really single one person out. But no, I hadn't been super chatty lately. I do spend time in the ZTT fantasy football Discord a little bit, but even that, I'm very sporadic. But anyway, hope he sets his lineup. I don't know. Josh said he just wasn't feeling well. Yeah, so that might have been one too many last night. We were up for a little bit. It's funny. We were supposed to do this stuff with OBS, and we never got the file to download, etc. But we had lots to talk about the show too. So that was, yeah, we're really strongly considering, just due to how not well the main show the matchup show, the weekly matchup show. We're thinking about cutting that down. Therefore, if you're not going to do an hour and a half or so, and you're not going to do matchups, you can save some time. So we're thinking about going in a different direction there. And by all means, you or anybody else listening out there, let us know in the comments if you think a change is in order or not. Metcalfs. Orland's pretty good versus the pass too, of course. Don't get me wrong. 12th most passing yards and kind of in the same ballpark in terms of fantasy points. 12th most fantasy. Yep, exactly. There you go. But you're going to have to play Metcalf. Lockett's been very unreliable. Metcalf, get him in your lineup with 3.5 stars. Try and bench Lockett. Lost sound? Oh. Test. Huh. Test. Let me pull up on my phone. Looks good on my end. I should say that. Everything looks good on my end. Test. Oh, why wasn't it on top? Last time it was on top. Amazing Fantasy Football is alive. Test. Yeah, I just heard myself. Let's say looks good on my end. Yeah, I think I'm good. So, yeah. Might have been on your end, I hope. Well, I don't hope that you lost it. You know what I mean. I like my thumbnail. How original, Chris. You can almost see my Hardware Dynasty logo in the back. That's kind of funny. Didn't plan that. Whatever. I could change that wallpaper. It's right here. So, Monday matchup. We're almost done here. I was just saying you got to start DK. So give him, 3.5 stars. Lockett. Try and look elsewhere. I know it's thin this week. So if you got to flex him. 2.5 stars is fine. If you wanted to, with that baked in desperation, just because he's been very unreliable, single digits in points lately. And hey, again, Geno's in at quarterback, so we're not starting him. Probably look elsewhere at the tight end also. That's really the gist of the matchup. Let's look at Everett real quick. Gerald Everett for the Seahawks. Of course, the Saints are pretty decent against fantasy tight ends, 8th best. I mean, yeah. Oh, he looks like he was hurt there for a minute. Yeah, he's been out of the equation for a while. Gerald Everett. Look elsewhere. Bench rating, unless you're absolutely desperate. And that is that Monday night matchup in a nutshell. Again, hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Hope the music is at a good level. I like this music choice for Sundays. Easy like Sunday morning, So yeah, no follow-up text aside from Josh letting me know what he needed to let me know, and my disappointment that I couldn't do the snip chip joke. Yep, I'm calling that one out again, just to annoy Josh. Anyway, so he was for real. He's not feeling well. For a second, I thought he was messing around. I really did. But no big deal. We just squeezed in the Monday matchup. I feel good about that. We can always check some Twitter updates for injuries and whatnot, but otherwise we are all caught up with injuries. Ooh, here's a little tidbit. Washington cornerback William Jackson, knee, is out today versus Green Bay. Gives some credibility to Alan Lazard as a viable Byepocalypse. See, he spells it just like I do. Or I guess it was Byemageddon that I misspelled. Anyway, makes him a viable Byepocalypse fill-in, a courtesy to Paul Charchian there via Twitter. So yeah, Washington, a very good corner for Green Bay, is out. I am starting Lazard in a league. Granted, it is a dynasty league. Yeah, what do we have? 30-man rosters? No taxi squad. So, you know, the waiver is thin. And Byepocalypse is a real thing. And again, a lot of good teams are on bye, and quite frankly, that is a good dynasty team. My dynasty team in that league. I'm not sure if I can put a win together this week. We'll see. Speaking. Oh, here was what we could. Oh my God, my daughter's screaming full bore right now. I hope my RTX voice is canceling it out for you folks. Okay, looks like I'm good here on, still good on sound. Yeah. Oh, I was going to do a little fancy camera switching. Yep. Still no sound. If you've tried to fix it. How do I not have sound? I don't know. I can hear it on my phone. Okay. I've got sound, I think. Yep. Maybe my music, but yeah, no, even that I can hear. No, my music's good. Yeah, here we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. I did just a second ago. Now I'm good. CC. Sounds good. Okay. I don't know. I guess you're losing sound there. I can see my readout oh, maybe it's my mic. No, we're good there. Test. Yeah. I could hear myself clearly. Sorry, ZC, not sure what's going on. Oh, yeah, I could type. See, I can't type in this chat. Because I pull it up on my browser, but it's easier to just do it here on my phone. But it's just, I'm logged into a different account. Sound is good on my end. Tried to fix it. Yeah, I'm good. So, I hope it, you know, I hope it is just him having issues, because it sounds fine to me. And we got a little ways to go. Oh, yeah, I was reading this, a couple of tweets to give us some news and notes here. This is from Mike Garofalo on Twitter. A note here for all those who have wondered if Deshaun Watson would land on the commissioner's exempt list if he gets traded. All indications are his status wouldn't change. He'd be available to play as his legal situation unfolds. It's just crazy. I even restarted my app. Oh well, proceed. What is going on? Here, let me pull it up on a browser. YouTube. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, proceed. Sorry, man. That sounds good to me. Oh, you're good? Oh, you're good now, ZC? Good. Like I said, I more or less eliminated, but I was genuinely concerned. I was like, what is he? Yeah, I'm good now. That was crazy. Yeah, I had it on my app on my phone. Then I finally just pulled up a browser tab on my stream, and it was working there too. And of course, I was getting a readout. Anyway, yeah, basically Deshaun Watson's status wouldn't change if he gets traded. He's been eligible to play. They just haven't been playing him because of his off-the-field stuff. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. I guess that's all I have to say on the matter. Is I'm still skeptical of a team trading for him, wanting to do that, but it's happening. It sure feels like it's going to happen. Other than that, this trade deadline looms. More on Watson. I don't see anything jumping out at me in terms of the buzz on Twitter, which is a good place for fantasy following. Follow us on, what are we, at Amazing Fantasy 7? In fact, I should be on it right here. Yeah, at Amazing Fantasy 7. Heck, we have a little thing that pops in here every now and then. Oh, I can even cue it up myself. Bam. There you go. At Amazing Fantasy 7. Follow us on Twitter. I'm trying to be more proactive there. I do share news. In the news on Julio. Forgive me, I don't know. Let me look. Active. Officially active. 21 seconds ago. Let's look a little deeper. Scared to start Julio this week. Other inactives. Actives include Julio Jones. Yep, he's active. Both Julio and A.J. Brown will be playing today. Well, these are not very old. Yeah, so here's Steve Lehman, award-winning sports anchor, News Channel 5, Nashville. So he's in Tennessee. So the good news is that Julio Jones is active today. The bad news is that safety Amani Hooker is back out versus a dangerous Chiefs passing game. So yeah, Julio is active. Again, 1 minute old. Wow, I just pulled that up, I swear, on Twitter. Hey, what's up, Evo? Good morning, man. How's your Sunday looking? How's your fantasy Sunday looking? Give us the lowdown. We've been over the Monday matchup. Let me know if you got any chips in that game. We've been over some injuries. We just got a update on Julio. He's active. I don't know. Any other names stand out worth mentioning? Gibson is going to play with his shin issue. A couple of the Giants guys are in if you need them. Slayton, John Ross, and Ingram, the tight end, are in. Waller is important to pay attention in the afternoon. He was added to the injury report Saturday. Doesn't feel great. He's not expected to know until pregame warm-ups. Allen Robinson will play with an ankle. Yeah, then a big long list of other guys here expected to play. Chase Edmonds, that's kind of a big one in my opinion. Goddard. I mean, it says Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, but I don't think anybody was really doubting them. But they were on the list of guys worth mentioning. And that's all I've got in terms of updates right now. So I've started hiding my taskbar. I can never tell what time it is. I don't know why I do it sometimes. I think it looks cool, but it's probably more trouble than it's worth. Yep. So there's your Julio Jones update. But yeah, it was weird. Anyway, sorry for the distraction. No problem, ZC. I was more or less through. We got Julio. I still think I'm probably going to start Higgins over him. Yeah, I think I would too. I don't think I did that matchup, but let me double check who they're playing. Higgins. Ravens. Ravens have not been a great defense. So I feel pretty confident that that's going to be a high-scoring affair. What does Vegas say? Let's see what Vegas says. Week 7 Vegas odds. I like the CBS one. This is usually pretty concise. Bengals at Ravens. So it is at Ravens. So looks like Bengals are still 6.5-point underdogs. Wow. I think they should get a little more credit than that, but man, Ravens have been legit. Point spread 46.5. So they expect Bengals to score approximately 20. Chase has been on fire. Jamar Chase, that's the part of the thing about Higgins lately. T. Higgins, as we like to affectionately refer to as Tiggins. Yeah, I'd probably go. Yeah. I'm definitely leaning Higgins also. Julio and that offense has just been disappointing. Although the Chiefs are really, really bad. If there's a get-right game for the passing game, it's against the Chiefs. But it's just all Derrick Henry lately. Put them on their back. 230 yards and 17 touchdowns in a game, and it's just like whatever. It's a video game at this point. I don't even understand it. Something's got to give, and I don't mean that in a. I mean, I guess I do mean it in a negative way, but yeah, it's just that offense, the passing game has got me worried. I always get scared starting Julio. Yeah, even if he doesn't go down in the first quarter, you're like, volume has been really hit or miss with Titans passing game. But he was okay earlier in the year, wasn't he? Yeah, I think I'm going Higgins. Higgins it is. But you do you. This is like if you're up against Dearness Johnson. Ugh, I mean, in that case, whose ceiling do you think is higher? I think that Ravens-Bengals game is going to be higher scoring than maybe even Vegas is giving credit for it. But hey, I'm wrong all the time. But yeah, for multiple reasons, I'd go Higgins, as we discussed. For show. Okay, lineups. I got some to set here. Let's get this the friends with benefits out of the way here. I did pick up Matt Ryan for my bye week quarterback replacement. I mentioned earlier I'm more or less forced to start Khalil Herbert. Similar thing going on with Elijah Mitchell, but he's back, so no injury designation. I am starting Higgins and the other Tennessee receiver, Ebo. I'm starting A.J. Brown. Higbee's been my tight end most of the year. It hasn't been great. Hasn't been awful either. Kamara is my star this week. He's in my flex because he's on Monday night, of course. Crosby, the Green Bay kicker. Feel good about that. Feel great about my Carolina defense versus the Giants. So, yeah, I might even chalk up a win if Matt Ryan and those running backs can come through, because those running backs are iffy. I mean, it could be Damian Williams for the Bears for all I know, but I just don't have many choices. I do not like Jamal Williams lately in the matchup, in particular versus the Rams, and everybody else is on bye for me. So that one's done. And I've already done most of these, so this should be quick. I just need to last minute check some of this because it's a tumultuous week. As Ebo says, he's scared of playing Julio all the time. So I had, in this league, my Superflex league, I'm 2-4. Just trying to scrape together a couple of wins. I did play Gordon. I don't want to say for the first time, but I feel like I haven't been playing Melvin Gordon much. But he's been producing somewhat, so he did get double digits, 10.2 fantasy points, and again, this is a half point PPR. Half PPR is how you say that. More Higgins, man. I'm telling you, me and Josh were very high on Higgins. But honestly, part of that was not expecting Jamar Chase to do what he's been doing. So we missed on Higgins a little bit, but he's still been a reliable guy. Let's just hope he can, that offense. I'm pretty high on that offense and Joe Burrow in that offense. So anyway, I'm forced to start my third quarterback this week because the Vikings are on bye. So in addition to not being able to start Cousins, I also can't start Dalvin Cook. So I'm starting Justin Fields, and then my other quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. Pretty good. DJ Moore, receiver. Don't have another choice there. Not sure if I touched on this at the top, but Galladay is out. I think everybody kind of expected Galladay to still be out, so he's out. I recently picked up Harris. Oh, do I have a kicker to play? Ooh, this is the one where I got to drop somebody. Guess who I'm going to drop? Hey, this is a great question for the listeners out there. I need a kicker this week. I picked up Damian Harris. Somebody had dropped him. Tim. Crazy, man. I thought it was a fine pickup. To be fair, he dropped him right before he had a good game versus Dallas last Sunday. So, you know, I scooped him up. Actually, I'm not starting him because as I said, started Melvin Gordon. And I do have Gibson good to go. Oh, as of now, I am flexing A.J. Brown. If I don't feel good about one of those, I could play Harris versus the Jets. But at the end of the day, I got to drop somebody, and it's probably going to be a pass catcher. And it's not going to be Dawson Knox on his bye week. So I need a kicker. I'm going to have to drop somebody. Who would you drop? Galladay, Pollard, Zach Moss, Damian Harris. So running backs would be Zach Moss or Damian Harris. I'm not dropping Pollard. I don't think I'm dropping Pollard. I guess put him in the equation. Moss, Pollard, or Harris, or the pass catchers are Galladay. That's it. Drop him. I think I'm going to drop Galladay. Hopefully nobody in that league is listening. Because he could get scooped up. I mean, he's not been a complete and utter disaster, but I think he's got a couple bad matchups, and he's out, and he's got a bye week after that. I think I'm going to drop him. Ebo says, is Damian Williams back for the Bears? Yes, he is. So I think I mentioned a moment ago, I'm starting Khalif Herbert out of kind of necessity. I wonder if he looked good. So I'm hoping he still gets a good look. Khalil Herbert, that is. But no, Damian Williams is back, sir. I have Higgins in about every league too, it seems. I feel like this comes up every week, Ebo. We're always like, we love Higgins. But yeah, me too. Hey, he's a good 3, man. He's a good wide receiver 3. And he was a good wide receiver 2 there for a minute. Hey, Gordon definitely produced more than I thought he was going to because his production hasn't been consistent, says CC. Yeah, agreed. Both me and Josh are just chomping at the bit waiting for Javonte Williams to break out there. Like, trade deadline, maybe. We'll see. There's running back needy teams in the NFL out there. You said I dropped Galladay yesterday too. Yep, I'm convinced there. I'm going to do it. What time is it? I'm just going to do it now. I don't think anybody's going to care. Hell, it might be considered a sabotage drop, as it were. So I need a kicker. Oh, look at all those bye weeks. Good Lord. Oh, there's Nick Folk. Speak of the devil. Hey, it's a high score. It should be a high scoring game. It's Patriots against the hapless Jets. It's probably a nice day. 58 degrees and sunny. Outdoors. What else do we have here? Cleveland. Oh, he already played, of course. Hopkins, the Washington kicker. Denver already played. Who do we like here? Tennessee, Kansas City. Blankenship's on IR. At Chicago. It's nice weather today. I'm close to Chicago. That's suck up the Tampa kicker. I believe that's at Chicago, is it not? No, it says versus Chicago. Either way, weather looks like it's not a factor. Carolina kicker. I think I'm going to go suck up versus the Bears as opposed to y'all's Nick Folk. But I don't know. Let's see what they've done lately. Ooh, well, Folk's been hurt. So there's that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's the fantasy points. Okay, yeah, so he had a nice week 2 weeks ago. Who was I looking at? Suck up. Similar. Yeah, I think I like this guy. I think I like that Tampa. Oh, here, let's read the blurb again real quick. Make sure I'm not missing. Like, well, this guy just broke his leg in practice. My kicker stunk this week. I played McManus from the Broncos. Yeah, I'm usually pretty confident about a Broncos kicker. What is my... I don't know why my headset turns off for no reason. Maybe I should just switch to the non-wireless one. Anyway, suck up. Has attempted only 9 field goals through 5 games for the Buccaneers. Ooh. Okay, fine. We can go elsewhere. I don't know why I don't want to go with Nick Folk. I guess because he has been hurt. Oh, wait. No, he hasn't. That was something else. Just he's kicking well. That's what it is. He has missed just 1 of 15 field goal attempts. Limited. Folk, 3rd in the league in field goal attempts through 6 weeks, was listed on New England's injury report with a left knee issue. His status worth monitoring ahead of Super. We already got an update on that. Looks like he was gonna go, right? Is what I said, is what I read. Still a hesitant though. If I have another reasonable alternative, I mean, it's like, gosh darn it, Yahoo. I have a kicker alternative. I'll use it. Zane Gonzalez for Carolina. Sorry, I'm reading about kickers. This is great content, Chris. Give me that guy. I can't wait for Kenny Golladay to blow up. Here's the transaction drop. Kenny Golladay for Zane Gonzalez. As long as he doesn't go 0, then I'll be happy. He gets blown up, gets -2 for a fumble. -2 for getting his face ran over. I'm just kidding. I don't know what to talk about here. All right, Mr. Zane Gonzalez, you are locked in, sir, at the New York Giants. Now the decision. You know what? I think it came down to me telling myself I would be kicking myself if A.J. Brown was on my bench versus this awful Kansas City secondary, and he has his blow-up game of the year. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm putting him in my flex. Like, it's a half PPR. The only other reasonable option, literally, actually, the only other option is Damian Harris. So, depending on how you feel about DJ Moore, Higgins, and A.J. Brown versus getting Damian Harris in that lineup, what do y'all think? ZC, well, picking up a kicker, not glamorous. It's still fantasy football. That's right. That one's taken care of now. We're on to that flex decision in that same league. I think I'm going to leave it with the three receiver set in DJ Moore versus the Giants. That should be good. Even though the Ravens are 7th fewest points to wide receiver position, I don't think their defense has been all that great, and I like that game to be a little bit of a barn burner with the quarterbacks there, the young quarterbacks. So I like Higgins and A.J. Brown, maybe a get-right game versus that horrible Kansas City. And he did come off a 9-target, 91-yard game last week, 12.6 fantasy points. Looking better, you know? No injury designation for him. Over Harris. Jets are real bad, though. But my running backs are Gibson, and I already played Gordon, so. All right, we're sticking with A.J. Brown. Should I say we're sticking with Higgins? He's actually kind of more the questionable one in terms of if I should play him. That's why I was debating Julio. It's like, man, the Chiefs give up a ton. They do. And it's going to be, I mean, what is Tennessee going to do? Yeah, I understand anytime you want it, Henry's going to give you a 75-yard touchdown run in there. We're back in it, but I don't know. I think they're going to have to throw. So with my luck, Julio will go off for 150 or something exactly. ZC says, do you like to run 3 receivers or running backs, including that flex spot? I usually go back and forth on availability. I look at, like, if it's a full PPR, 1.0 points per reception, I lean receiver a lot. Plus, running backs are harder to come by. In a 10 or 12 team league, it's like I can find a receiver that's going to play in a, like, if I can find a receiver that's going to play in an offense that throws a lot, I'll start with 3 receivers in a full PPR. In a half point PPR, or of course non PPR, yeah, it's up to touches. If that running back's going to, I think, is going to get more work than that receiver. Running backs tend to be more reliable. There's just much less of them to be relied upon. That doesn't make sense. There's only I guess a handful, maybe a dozen guys that you can rely on to get a certain amount of snaps, both handoffs and targets. And if you've got one, you need to play them. But in a league that rewards for catches, you could definitely go receiver more heavily because they're easier to come by, more depth. That's that lineup, is what I said there. Last redraft league, because I really don't think I have any choices in a dynasty. That's locked and loaded. I'm having to start. Oh, good Lord. What is going on with ESPN here? I swear. Okay, I could stand to close a couple tabs, but what the F, man? This is not going well. Oh, it finally worked. Not a fan of their stuff. App, website, you name it. Okay, so I did play. What? Javonte scored 17 points? Dang, son. 11 times for 53 yards. Caught 3 of 3 targets for another 50. That doesn't seem right. That's week 7 projection. Oh, the week 6. Yeah, that's the week 6. Nice. What did he... Oh, he caught a touchdown. That still seems like a lot of points. Okay, so he got through 6 receptions, so 3 points. That's 6.2 plus a touchdown. That's 12.2. 14 point. I don't know where these extra points are coming from anyway. Apparently Javonte scored 17.2 fantasy points Thursday night. Heck yeah. So I started him out of necessity. Gibson's good to go. This is the league that I do not have Chubb. It is the league I have Allen Robinson on my bench. He is actually going to play. Receivers, I've got Bateman and Darnell Mooney. My flex is Damian Harris in this league. Do I play Allen Robinson? Knowing that Chicago is going to have to throw and you can't run versus Tampa. Like they're just not going to run versus Tampa. Oh, that's a good point. I'm playing Herbert. Oh, God. Again, if I can set a lineup, I feel like it's a win this week. I'm sure y'all feel similar. Where were we? Hey, we already got that one. He caught a touchdown pass at the end. Yeah, it's true. Oh, Javonte. You're talking about Javonte? Yeah, so kind of a gimme, I guess. Hey, he's on the field, did what he was supposed to do. It's good news for that team, for me. I need a win badly in the ZTT League. All right, so, I mean, I don't want to play Mooney and Robinson, and I really kind of feel better about playing Mooney, honestly. I feel like they're going to give him a deep shot. Maybe he scores. And just he's been better than Allen Robinson. It comes down to Bateman. You know what? I do kind of feel good about Bateman if it's going to be a shootout, like I think that they aren't giving it credit for. Bengals and Ravens. Call my shot, just be like, hey, I got to start 2 receivers. I'm starting 3 running backs, including my flex. So don't play 2 Bears. I mean, what do you do? Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with it. I feel like it's kind of a throw my hands up with Allen Robinson right now. Let's see what he's done. Targets 7, 5 targets, just a handful of catches, no touchdowns, single digit fantasy points per week. This is a full PPR too. Oh, it's frustrating. Again, that they have to throw though, and he's healthy. I just don't know what to do with him. Aside from his lost last season in Jacksonville in 2017. What? Oh, his loss last season in Jacksonville. He made just one appearance due to a torn ACL. Robinson otherwise has missed 9 games in his 7 other campaigns. Wow, okay. Put in 1 more week on the practice field. But whatever. It's all about his health. I'm just leaving him on the bench. I'm going to play Mooney and Bateman. Just hope for the best. Defense is fine. Yep, we're good. We'll just give the old Dynasty League a glance. But like I said, I don't think I have any choices there. All caught up on chat. Anybody else got any lineup questions as I finish up here? I think a defense is the only thing I could really decide upon. I don't like Bengals versus Ravens. Don't like Jets versus, but yeah, just keep it the way it was. Close. Time we got almost 11. Been an hour. Not too shabby. Oh, what else we got? What are the big subjects here? I need Dawson Knox back ASAP, man. That's just killing me. He's a big pickup for me in 2 leagues. How do you feel about Devontae Booker in a full PPR? Start him over Julio? It's still his show, isn't it? Giants versus Carolina. They've shown they can be beat on by the run, I think. Yeah. Booker over Julio, full PPR. He's getting the targets too, I'm pretty sure. And again, it's Julio versus the Chiefs. As we know, they're going to pass. Full PPR. That's really close, actually. Carolina. Booker. Good versus the run, of course. Yeah, I think I go Julio there because it's a full PPR. That's what pushes me over the edge. Otherwise, I would tend to lead to that running back that's going to get the work, but his matchup's not great. It's downright bad, the matchup that is. Panthers. Yeah, 16th most rushing yards, but they're pretty good in not giving fantasy points up to the running back position. They're the best, actually. They give up the fewest points to the running back position. Booker's average has been awful. He's been getting the work, and he's scored a couple times, so he's looked decent doing it in the games that I've seen because he played Dallas. I saw him play Dallas. Booker, that is, and the Giants. So, yeah, I'm going Julio on that one. Wait, is Julio going to the Chiefs? Yeah, right. Oh, my God, you frightened me there for a second, ZC. Yeah, that's an inside joke of ours. Ebo, in the Discord, we have a Chiefs fan that likes to speculate anytime there's a big name out there that's been cut or whatever. Turn around that Chiefs season by signing somebody. For wearing out that joke. No, do it. It's still funny to me, for sure. What was the other Julio example where I did not pick Julio earlier today? But yeah, I'm a little surprised. I think I do have to go Julio over Booker there. Oh, Higgins. It was Higgins. I'm good with that. Yeah, in that order. Higgins, Julio, Booker, and a full PPR. Again, that's a big part of it. Big part of it. Yeah, is there any actionable fantasy advice on the Deshaun Watson Tua situation? I mean, I don't know. You're just kind of waiting for the ball to drop. I see it maybe being a dynasty thing where you're like kind of on the fence about, I think I'm out of the playoffs this season. Maybe you could make a move for the future. I liked what I saw out of Miami the past couple of seasons in terms of the moves they made, the draft picks that they've built up, the draft picks that they've made. I was a Tua guy in terms of, I mean, I don't think he's a world beater, but I think he could absolutely be a top half of the league NFL starter, top 16, if you will, guy. And in fantasy, I thought even better because of his legs. And I think he's an effortless thrower. I think he's a good prototype for one of these dual threat quarterbacks that are doing well in the league lately. But he hadn't looked great. The offense has been kind of bad. Of course, I think Gaskin was overrated too, even though I took advantage of him last year in terms of I was on him early and he produced, but I just knew he wasn't all that talented. So they're devoid of playmakers, although Gesicki finally started getting involved this season. Yeah, so I'm just... Obviously, you have to say Watson is the best player in the deal, and Watson, if he is in Miami, raises the level of those players. Obviously, the Fuller connection. I think I dropped Fuller in a league. Again, it's easier to drop receivers because you can find one to replace him, and he hadn't done a lot, and I needed something. I don't remember, but I do have Fuller in Dynasty, so I'm like, I guess, just hold and see what happens with that whole trade, and I look at it advantageously if Watson plays for Miami this year and I get to use Fuller and they get that connection going. Psh, I mean, that connection was gold last year before Fuller got in trouble for putting the wrong stuff in his body. Am I at the bottom of my chat? Sometimes I wonder. Yeah, okay, cool. And I don't like the chat in... it's been fine, I guess. It's just not interactive. I can't type into the chat from the OBS chat doc. But at least I have an OBS chat doc. And... YouTube is integrated into OBS. Not integrated. You can link your account, and you don't have to do all that stuff on the web page. You can do all that stuff in OBS, including upload your thumbnail, which I did for the first time for a stream. That is. All right, folks, give me just a moment. I'm gonna BRB. I think I'm being summoned. Should be just a moment. Do I have a way to switch to this scene? Yes. Can I remember which one it is? No. I think it's number 6. That worked well. So I have it set to where, long story short, instead of doing your audio the normal way in OBS, where you go into settings and you set your default mic and your default desktop audio 1 and desktop audio 2, etc., I add them by source to each scene. So I have a source for my mic, I have a source for Discord audio, I have a source for the music that I'm playing. And so when I switch to BRB or like stream ending or what have you, I have it set to where I do not have a mic source. So it's like effectively muting my mic to you guys, the stream and the recording. And same thing with the Discord audio source. There's no, like in this scene, there's no Discord audio source because why would I need it? If Josh were here, I would switch to the other scene where you can see both our faces, and I would have a Discord audio source. Also, that music source I turn up a little bit while I'm on BRB or stream starting or stream ending. So yeah, that seems to be working well. That was one of the reasons why I did that. I need to get up and stretch my legs, and I was like, hey, let's try out the BRB screen that I don't usually use on this stream. So, but I do think, folks, I am going to go ahead and call it a stream. Let your buddies know at work. Let your fantasy league mates know about this show. I know, you don't want to let them know about a great secret. I know, but, get that word out there. We're looking at kind of making the show a little more digestible. The stream is only an hour or two, so that's been fine. But the long format show has been a bit long, not only for our personal lives, but also for content. Like, it's just, we think it's kind of too much in what folks are getting in return, and I think we could kind of zoom out and talk about more big fantasy topics and address what we need to with matchups and injuries here and there, but just make it more concise and really cut the time of the show, leaving us more time to promote the show on Discord and Twitter. Maybe do some, another live stream per week, or do another show, just much shorter shows, like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, not an hour and a half. So, but again, these are just ideas. We're moving forward with our regular format. Tune in on Friday mornings when we drop our matchup show, where we touch on every matchup and every fantasy relevant player in order to give you an idea of whom to start by our star rating system. Follow us on Twitter, ask questions there, join our Discord where you can ask fantasy questions there. We are always in that Discord, and subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when we drop a new video or go live. And what else? That's it. Follow us on Discord for the news feed that I run there. Are guys going to venture into other fantasy sports too? No, ZC, no, we're not fantasy basketball or baseball guys. Josh is a baseball guy, but I don't think he plays fantasy baseball. Yeah, no, we like having the, there's really no off season in fantasy football, but it definitely slows down for a few months. So we like the off season to give us a break, but also, yeah. And I've got the interest in the whole PC building thing, which is actually, I've got my table all set up behind me on wheels and stuff, ready to build some PCs and get that going. So, and then of course, real life, family. I'll probably be working sooner rather than later. So no other fantasy sports. I don't have interest in playing them either at this time. But I do have interest in putting together some wins during Byepocalypse this week. So good luck, everybody, until, I guess Friday morning. See ya.